Kyle here, we're Space Engineers, and today we've got a bit going on. Need to go take a look at the stuff downstairs because we've got a bit of work done. Not only have I been working on the new ship, but I've been working on the base. We've actually made some progress. Actually, we made progress on both. Alright, so let's go take a look. Take a side trip here for a second. So the manufacturing area is now a manufacturing area. We've actually set up one of the programmable blocks with the automatic LCD2 script. And so we have it reporting on basically everything. And then I have a compact LCD set up here, basically showing us what's going on with the details on the solar production. So I can tell, like, without having to go upstairs, if the solar panels are actually being used, and if so, you know, how much power are they generating, efficiency, things like that. I've got the summary over here so I can make sure that we're not overusing or overutilizing the power that we have while we're doing manufacturing. And then I have a status board telling me, you know, when assemblers are running, when refineries are running, what we have for components on hand, and what we have for the ore and such. Now, this is something I've been talking about setting up for a while. I've actually gone into depth before on how to set this stuff up. There's actually a guide available, and if I will try to remember to link it into the description of the video. If I forget, somebody let me know in comments and I'll get you the link to it. But the online guide actually will walk you through a lot of it. But if you do have questions, let me know, and I'll do a video specifically talking about how to set the script up and how to set up these displays and such, because you can do a lot with it. It's a really flexible system. It's just, you know, knowing what it is you're trying to get information wise, because Space Engineers on the back end gives you a lot of information to work with, but they don't give you an easy way to interact with it or to query it. And so things like MMaster, who did the automatic LCD2 script, those types of features actually are really beneficial for people. So if you're trying to get more information about what's going on the back end, as far as like how manufacturing and production, what's going on, how you can monitor that stuff, let me know. All right, so we come past here. I did start up the reactors because the new ship has a lot of batteries on it. So I haven't really changed anything in here. We still have all of this set up. You know, nice little common area for the rank and file crew. Oh, I forgot to reopen that. All right, so let's talk about expansion areas. So if you remember last time, this was still closed off. So we now have this open. You can see the new ship out there. We'll talk about that in a moment. So we have a little area over here for folks to sit down in. If you go down here, this is actually a simple airlock that takes you out to the maintenance and building hangar. Coming this way allows you to see out into the hangar spaces as well as the silo space. And this is embedded in the wall to keep it out of the way, so you get full use of the actual space inside the hangar. You don't have to worry about accidentally destroying anything. Well, I mean, there's still the potential for you to destroy these if your thrusters get too close to the wall, but the entire thing is pressurized. Now the hallways out here I have not put a vent into, so all of this is dependent upon that first doorway area coming into here in order to get atmosphere in here. But it is pressurized, it will hold an atmosphere. And once this world is set up and released on the workshop, for the folks who are wanting to, it is actually fairly simple to get a feed in here for the atmospheric lines. Because remember, there is, right, like directly below here is where we have the supply line for both the O2 system, which is I think on this block, and then there's the supply line connector directly below us all the way down at the floor, which I think is 4 blocks down. So it's not that much extra work in order to get it pressurized. Now I also didn't put any lights in here because we have so much lighting in the silo already that this is picking up the ambient light just from the different things around. So it's bright enough to get things done, but if you want it more light, you just throw light in here. Okay, so that is basically what I've been doing while I've been waiting for parts to manufacture. So we did do a big weld up on the ship out there, which we'll go out and show you here now. I know I've been teasing it, but I have to say that ship came out much better than I was expecting. So one of the things that we did is when we were building this last time, we had forward-facing retro thrusters, large thrusters on the sides as well as the one on the front. And I was saying I couldn't determine which way I wanted to go with that, if I was going to leave just the single one on the front, or if I was going to get rid of the single one on the front and go with the 2 on the side and make it more in a cell. I'm liking the way it came out though, so I did go ahead and remove those. Head downstairs and we'll show you what we got going on. Give it a second to make sure that the atmospheric envelope actually recalculates properly. And then, like I said, you know, we have the vent right there. It's actually, you would only have to remove 1 block below it in order to put in a vent in that hallway. That's funny. All right, shows you how lazy I was last time. All right, so I've gone ahead and killed the power to this thing. We did basically get everything up and running. I really haven't made a whole lot of changes to what we had last time. The only thing I really did was put a little bit more armor on it and weld it up. Now there's a couple of things that I'm still thinking I may change, and there are some things that I did already do, and I'll walk you through all of that here in a second. Now on this side, I'll turn the light on so you can see, we put an inverted gravity generator in, so it's actually stuck on that battery because it was the only place I could mount it. And then we adjusted the field so that the interior space and a little bit of the exterior space actually will have a gravity field on it. We set it for negative 4.9 meters per second. It's an inverse 50% gravity field, which is generally what I use. And then behind that we have a gyro. On the other side, we now, this is one of the changes I was talking about. Talk about that in a moment. There is an Azimuth ore detector, the overclocked ore detector, which goes to it's the atmospheric one, so it's 250 meters instead of 125, 150, whatever it is. So it is a little bit better than the vanilla one by default. Now you could put one of the, the 5K ones on here if you were doing anything with space exploration, which we probably will, and I've got some areas that I can tuck one into if I need to, but we're not going to worry about that for right now. Alright, so we do have a bunch of lift thrusters. We have 4 descent controls. And then we have 3 laterals on both port and starboard, and then obviously the 2 main thrusters. And then I have a temporary one there that I was going to use to get this, to do a test flight with this thing to see if it could hover under its own power. But I think we're just going to go ahead and scrap that, throw the resources into the last thruster, and we'll go from there. Now, one of the things that I did do is I pulled the batteries that we were originally putting down here out, put some landing gear in so that we could actually have this thing settle down without resting on the connector or the conveyors. And I did a little bit of sculpting with what we have so far. Now, for some of the detailing, what I did is I used the passage sides and then just changed orientation on a couple of them to give us a little bit more interesting detail in here. Otherwise you're just looking at the back of conveyors. So some built-in greebling, and then that in conjunction with the basic refineries, it came out pretty nice. I'm actually happy with the way that this looks overall. And then obviously we have a ridiculous number of batteries, and then we have the jump drive, which is now fully charged. Alright, so let's head in. Let's put that away. And as you can see, we actually have a simple airlock here. On the lower level, this is where you have your life support stuff. So your O2 is in the floor, cargo container, your air vent, and 2 reactors and a cargo storage, you know, a locker system. And then you have lights. You have windows on both port and starboard to see out. And then again, some more detailing using the half passageway blocks. I'm really liking these, and I'm glad Keen added them into the vanilla block set. What I would like to see though is I want one of these that has a window in it. I would love to have one of these that have a window in it. Something like the Passageways and More mod, which from my understanding is the basis of this mod. I may be wrong about that, so don't go flaming Keen or anything. But my understanding is that they talked to the original creator of that mod and basically used that as a influence to bring it into the vanilla. Now, like I said, that's just what I've heard. I don't know how true that is. I have not done any research into that. So if I'm wrong, hey, great. It's on me, not on them. All right, so let's head upstairs. Your mid-level mezzanine has the 2 beds, and we were able to go ahead and put the toilet in. Basically, this is really just to give you another spot to charge without having to get into the beds. Now, we do have this door that we placed in. This used to be there used to be a porthole window here that we were exploring. I didn't like the way that it left the bottom open. So I wanted to have something that we could basically have a faster way in and out of the ship, especially while we're working on it. And there, when this ship is actually under power and in flight, the back airlock, the exterior door will remain closed, but the interior door has to remain open for you to have access to the lower level. So there is a reason to have, you know, a faster way in and out. But yeah, so it actually came out pretty nicely. And then obviously you come up to the bridge area. You can actually force yourself around it if you need to for some reason. There is a railing there which will keep you from getting on that side. So if you get out mid-flight and you end up stuck on the front or the side, you just walk around, you can get out. So anyway, let's go ahead. Yes, and we are going to switch those over. Alright, so we actually have a little bit of power. I can turn my light off now. And this is what it looks like when it's under power. So, right. Now the big thing is that I want to get rid of that beast. You are going to go away. Make sure we've got enough. Okay, I think I have all the parts I need. Yes, okay. That was all I need. I think I actually have extra. I made more parts than I really needed. Not by much. Alright. Let's go ahead and throw all that in there. We're gonna hide this and go assembler. And we're just basically gonna throw all this stuff into the storage area. Like I said, I basically went through and was like, oh, I need to make a bunch of things. And what I didn't realize is that I was out of materials. So I had to go get more materials. And when I came back, I forgot that apparently I had stacked, you know, a couple of thrusters, like basic thrusters in there. Alright. So what I want to do, now that all the thrusters are here, we're going to turn them all on. And we're going to cut this thing free, cut the sporing on it, and see how well this works. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, let's go ahead and power you on, open you up so that we don't pressurize. I did put ice in the O2 generator, so let's go ahead. 0% usage, obviously, because we are technically docked. Make sure everything is turning on. All of our thrusters look good. Main thrusters look good. Ascent control thrusters look good. Laterals. Check the other lateral. And our retro thrust. Okay. So now the moment of truth. Does it float? Because if not, this is going to be really expensive. I figured, you know, you got to see the building. May as well see the christening too, right? I hate this part. This is always the, did we do it right or did we screw it up? Hey, looks like we did it right. Okay. That's good. Because that would have been really bad and that would have felt really silly if the whole thing had blown up on us, which wouldn't be the first time. Alright. So we're at 7% just hovering. Alright, so let's bring her down. Go ahead and turn off those thrusters. I want to make sure everything actually turns off. So Space Engineers is kind of weird. Sometimes things don't always register when you tell them to, so be careful with that for those folks who haven't experienced it. It's a very, very rare thing to have happen, but when Space Engineers is running, if you have a really slow sim speed or you've got things going on in the processor is lagging behind, some of the code or some of the commands will get dropped. So you'll end up with, like, if you have, say, 10 thrusters on your ship, 9 of them will turn off, but you'll have this one that's turned on for some reason, even though it's actually in the group and everything was set up right. Really annoying. I haven't seen it in a while, so it is very possible that they fixed whatever was causing that problem. But I'm paranoid, and I've been playing Space Engineers entirely too long, so... Alright, so let's go ahead and get this out, and we did put Bob in. As you can tell, I haven't actually put Bob in yet. He's just kind of hanging out there. But we are going to get one. We're going to get the parts for him here. Ah, crud. Alright, come here, you. Let's go ahead and throw all that in there. Okay. And do this again. Okay, you get Bob. Come over here, grab the parts, go back, and we're gonna weld Bob up. Okay, so now if I was in vanilla Space Engineers, right, well, completely vanilla Space Engineers, everything on this ship except for the ore detector and Bob is 100% vanilla. You would need the DLC packs to use some of it, like the new thrusters and everything. But the ship itself is actually a vanilla ship, which is important because of the fact that when we put this up on the workshop, the only 2 mods you need to worry about would be Bob and the ore detector mod. That's it. So, not bad for a completely vanilla stock ship. Like I said, the only 2 things I put on it are utility things that really don't matter in the scheme of things, so. Okay, so at this point, I think we're going to take this up to the, let's see, that's what, yeah, so we're going to take it up over to the landing pad. We have our big old miner over there right now. Now, there are a few things I still want to do to this ship. One of the things I want to do is I want to put the windows over the jump drive. I tend to do this on a lot of, even when I don't have the exploding jump drives mod enabled, because these things are kind of delicate, surprisingly. So what happens is if you get any type of strafe bullet coming in, you might knock your jump drive out. I don't know why I have the worst luck with those, but Again, that may be, you know, mileage may vary on that, so keep that in the back of your head there. Right, so let's go ahead and go in. Do I want to pressurize this? Meh. Oh, and then over here, before I forget, one of the things I did is I used the new half window corner. These are the bullet resistant shields, like the cube areas, mainly because of the fact that this allows me to have a little bit of room over here, and when I'm walking around I can look down and see immediately if the reactors are online or not. And it also gives me a little bit of a view out on the side, and basically just to mirror the door. So yeah, like I said, I'm happy with the way this came out. It's a nice little ship. So since you have reactors, we're not going to worry too much about you. We're going to go... Oh, nope. Just turn those on. And let's see if we can get out without destroying our ship or the base. I think I left enough room all around for everybody. Dun 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 dun. Oh. Copyright is copyright, isn't it? Alright, so let's go this way. 50%, not bad. And then if we kick on our reactors, so our reactor's not online. Why are not? Oh, that's our gravity drive. You are our reactors. There we go. So helps take the burden off of the batteries. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Good visibility. It is a nice ship. Alright. And we've got more batteries on here than I probably should, but you know, it's okay. Hey, look, our original base. And so this thing is really meant for going basically straight ahead with a little bit of maneuvering. Probably deal with having another gyro on it just to make it a little bit zippier. But let's take this thing up and see. I think that's a screen capture right there. Alright. Let's just go ballistic. Now, obviously this thing is ion only, so it will not go into an atmosphere. Well, it will go into an atmosphere, it just won't do well in there. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this. I think it's... for a squat little thing, it's pretty good. Alright. Okay, so I think that's basically going to do it for us today. I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you know the routine. Hit those likes, smack the subscribe if you haven't already, and share it everywhere. Like I said, you know the routine. I don't have to tell you guys. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy your week. And we'll be back here on Friday for more Space Engineers. I think we're going to do a little bit of exploration. Now, we don't have weapons on this, so I may add the shield mod. May also add some weapons to this. But, alright. If you're interested in the ship, I will try to make it available by the time this video goes live. It should be on the workshop. I have to reset my game in order to make the screenshots work for the ship so that I can upload it. It doesn't like my native image size. The files are too big, I think. But it's okay, after you put it up, you can always load new ones. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and we'll see you back here on Friday. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Now comes the fun part of landing this beast. Let's try it blind without altitude indicators. Just these.